I would like to share about a very important issue that I like to call the true names of things. Very few human beings ever contemplate and put into practice the fact that their entire lives are governed by ideas, concepts, internal psychic forms of the world. This is, in fact, the principle behind the perennial teaching of the sages that says, you create your own life. And so, depending on the degree of awareness you have of this fact, and the intensity and depth with which you let yourself be guided by it, the less the feeling of resistance, the experience of contradiction between you and the world will be. Human beings have the ability to name, to give names to the phenomena of existence. It is a consequence of the intellect, the function that most distinguishes human beings from other beings. A word, intellect, that originates from the Latin intus legere, which means to choose from among, but also together within. To intellect is to observe certain limits, certain boundaries, certain relationships within and between phenomena, and to give these qualities, this thing that we distinguish, the thing that we somehow pluck out from among the inseparable continuum that is the totality of existence, we give it a definite form in the inner worlds, in the psyche, in consciousness. Intelligence is the movement of making something present in the outer, between commas, world, in an inseparable and recognizable way, into something present in the inner, between commas, world, with a separate, distinctive form. But, under normal circumstances, the observer doesn't stop there. Involuntarily, unconsciously, compulsively even, we tend to give that form a name. We tend to put the thing in a box with a label. Well, if you try to look at a word written in your mother tongue without reading it out loud or mentally, if you try just to observe the lines, the characters, without automatically translating them, you will see how difficult it is. And the process of observing the world without mentally, though often subtly, reading its phenomena according to the names we've learned in the past, works in a very similar way. This movement of naming, in the common sense of the word, of limiting and boxing up into the depths of the subconscious, this is what we know as abstracting. Now, abstraction, naming, and the creation of patterns that comes with it is a very useful function. In the sense of survival in dangerous circumstances, it allows us to react much more quickly. Instincts, for example, are simply deeper forms of these patterns, so old that they have become organic, imprinted on the very nervous system and cells themselves. Abstraction also allows, in everyday life, the field of consciousness of the individual human being to direct their attention continuously to a task without the distraction of the infinite stimuli that constantly assault our senses. Anyone who has observed a dog that has not been trained for some time will see that it has very little ability to resist the constantly changing the focus of his attention to every new stimulus that comes along. The formation of patterns allows human beings to voluntarily structure and organize their lives. It is one of the main mechanisms that has allowed humanity to generate as much comfort as we experience today. Abstractions are photographs of life, which are stored in the memory for future comparison. But life is not a photograph. Life is a movie. Despite its advantages, photographing phenomena petrifies them, imprisons them, kills them. And most human beings go through life carrying an enormous weight of death in the hidden parts of their consciousness, a giant mountain of immutable rocks into which they transform all the phenomena of life they come across. But nothing in life is immutable. All phenomena are living, dynamic things in constant flux, teaching and learning, communicating with all other phenomena. And the boundaries that are distinguishable one moment dissolve or are transformed in the very next. By falling into the continuous compulsion of naming the events of material and psychic life according to memory, human beings unconsciously spend untold energy trying to keep things as the mind says they should be, just because that's how the mind feels safe, stable, and comfortable. And when something unexpected for the mortifying mind happens, there is a contradiction between existence and the individual. A feeling of disappointment, frustration, even fear and anger can arise. Observation without letting be, intelligence without liberating, the process of abstraction without continually giving back what we have psychically taken from the world, is a huge source of pain and suffering. The true names of things, their essences, their inner workings and function, which is the relationship they have with all other beings, cannot be summed up in a single word. The true names of things are dynamic movements. They are living beings in constant transformation, evolution, and expansion. It is discovering the true names of things, that which scientists do when they uncover a working principle of some phenomenon in the universe. It is experiencing the true names of things internally and trying to express them, that which artists do when they create. It is to seek out, respect, love, and teach the true names of things, that which the mystics and sages of humanity do throughout their journey on earth. All the phenomena of existence, whether material, sensory, or psychic spiritual, are processes. And as Frank Herbert once wrote, a process cannot be understood by stopping it. Understanding must move with the flow of the process, must join it and flow with it. We invite you to try it. For 21 days at first, spend at least a few minutes and at least twice a day, but of course, the longer and the more times the better, observing, contemplating any phenomenon of life. At first, the simpler the phenomena, the better. And try not to hypothesize, not to draw conclusions, not to give names verbally or mentally. Just try with patience, with kindness, with the curiosity of a child. And this is precisely how children learn so quickly. With love, try to communicate, to commune, to dissolve yourself in the piece of life you chose. You will see that something changes, transforms inside you. You won't want to stop at the end of the 21 first days. And the way you relate to existence, the quality and intensity of your life will change forever. Life will start responding to you, talking to you, teaching you things you never thought possible. You just need to resist the compulsion to imprison phenomena with words and just let them live, free, fluid. Let them be what they truly are. You just need to see, accept, and let be.